No, the thumbnail is not clickbait. I am 100% serious. So press checks, if you're not familiar with it, is they will put in their magazine, charge the weapon like normal, and then they pull the weapon out of battery so they can see brass to guarantee that there's one in the chamber, and then they let it go forward. And then they'll come up and they'll hit the forward assist. Now, that's ridiculous for a couple of different reasons. One, because of the angle the forward assist comes in at. Yes, if all you have to do is overcome this little latch right here, there's enough power. But you're being cut down by more than half of a mechanical disadvantage. So the actual force you're applying to the bolt carrier by just slapping this is practically insignificant. Just letting it go forward like this almost applies more force than if you were to just slap this. Yes, there are cases where that will do the trick. Like, for example, you just have to overcome this. But if your rifle is dirty or something, that may not be the case. So, why is the press check for the movies? I have to use live ammunition on this demonstration, so just go ahead, pause the video right now, and put on your flat jackets, Kevlar vest, hell, put on a level 4 carrier. Because we have to, and I don't want to hear about it. So the first thing is just the technique altogether. It's ridiculous. Why would you do that? Why would you pull your weapon out of battery? There are much better ways to guarantee that you have a round in the chamber. For example, on a double stack magazine, it'll feed left, right, well, this particular one, right, left, left. And after you load the magazine, you just put a little red mark on the side that the round is on. So you chamber your round, pull out your magazine, oh look, the round switched sides. Therefore, I know that it stripped one off the magazine. I don't have to pull the weapon out of battery, and when I put in the magazine, put it in with force and just pull on it, and as long as it ain't one of those garbage-ass Lancer magazines, it'll stay up there. I mean, if it's a Lancer mag, I had them fall right out of the rifle several times, but everyone else seems to like them, so whatever. So we got the round in. Yeah, let me put that back in there. So we got the round. I do the movie style press check. I pull back. It doesn't go into battery. I went through all the trouble to make sure brass is in there. Why would I leave this liability? What I do is I just pull it all the way back to the rear, strip that round out, and let it go again. I would not try to drive it back forward, because the momentum and force that you get from the spring pushing on the buffer, slamming the bolt forward, is more than you can really ever get by slapping the forward assist. Unless, of course, you take it like this, find a nice flat surface, make sure the muzzle ain't pointed at your head, and jack it down. That's the only way to get anywhere near close to the same amount of force that the buffer tube can push. So, I would either read that my rifle is loaded by ejecting the magazine and seeing that the rounds did in fact switch sides, or if I really want to do it like the movies for whatever reason, I wouldn't. But if I did, and it didn't go fully in the battery, I would not try to put it in the battery by the forward assist. Because of the way the AR-15 is designed, if it is not 100% in the battery, your hammer will go up and you'll have a dead trigger. So if I'm going to go through all that work to make sure I actually got brass in there, I probably wouldn't even try to let it go forward. I check and make sure there's brass, and then I just bring it all the way to the rear, make sure that one ejects, and let it go back in. Now the next obvious question is, well, what about pistols? Because in the movies, again, sorry I have to use live ammunition, they rack the round, and then they'll bring it back like this, see that there's brass, and let it go. But there's a good chance you're going to make a malfunction. So instead of doing that, right here on my magazine, it's got a round counter. I can look at that little hole and see brass. Now I can't. Therefore, I know it's stripped a round off of the magazine. I can insert the magazine and make sure it's home. Yeah, I could hit the back of the slide in that, but why? I mean, it's just easier to check off the magazine. Now, if you're probably like, well, my magazine don't have round holes, well, maybe you shouldn't have bought a high point. You know, spend a little bit more on your firearm and it will. When I was shopping for this particular firearm, it had a lot of qualifications that I needed to have before I would buy it. One of them is that it had the round counter on the magazine, because I knew when I load my firearm, I didn't want to pull it back out of battery. I wanted to charge it, I wanted to be able to pull the magazine, look, yep, one's missing, and put the magazine back in, make sure it's firmly seated. This way I know I won't induce a malfunction. Yeah, don't screw around with the whole press check thing. You're just asking for troubles. If you're going to do it, which I still recommend you do, because I've had it happen where I haven't stripped off a round, and it was actually during deer hunting, so it was pretty catastrophic. I see my game, hit the trigger, nothing happened. Do your press check by looking at the magazine. Just make sure the round has switched sides. Way more efficient. Well, I shouldn't say more efficient. It's not efficient at all. Way more likely not to cause a malfunction, because in order for it to cause a malfunction, doing a press check by looking at the magazine, the malfunction will be that you didn't fully seat the magazine and it fell back out. Now I get there might be some off-the-wall example. We're pulling it back and then slowly creeping it forward with the assist might be relevant. Like say you're doing some sort of stealth and you just don't want to let the bolt drop. All I recommend is make sure to look at the bolt really carefully so you know what it looks like fully in the battery. When you're driving it forward, make sure it looks the same. Other than that crazy off-the-wall ninja example, I don't see any reason whatsoever to pull it out of the battery to check to see if there's brass in there. Eject your magazine, look at the mag. And if you're worried about forgetting what sides, after you load up your magazine, just put a little mark right there on that top lip. So you know, if the brass ain't on the side of the mark, it's got one in the rifle. Anyway, thank you for watching. Don't forget to click on my Patreon if you'd like to help support the channel. I also have affiliate links in the description down below. I'll have it for a lot of different stuff I posted on the camera here. Even if you don't buy what that particular link is for, just clicking on that link and then doing the Amazon shopping you were already going to do anyway, I get a little kickback for it because you came there off my channel. Don't forget to subscribe.